Hello, I'm Logan Howe.
I'm Jamil Ham.
Today, for our Slam podcast submission, we will be talking about two topics: personal finance.
And being a student athlete.
The first one we chose personal finance is because we're college student athletes. We don't have a job right now, so the money the money we get is tight. We can get money from our family, but it's not like we can just go out on a daily basis and work work a 9 to 5 or just work. And with the money we do get, we have to save the money. I know me, the personal thing that that I came up with my money is meal prepping. Save me a lot of money so that I'm not worrying about going out trying to get Chipotle, um, Bruno's, anywhere. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm good.
Um, I gotta say something interesting about that, right?
So I'm pretty sure you got a lot of things to say.
Something interesting about that, about his self-interest, is to go back on what he said about how we don't like how we can't work jobs, or like how some schools maybe they athletes are getting like a monthly income. We don't get that, or we
Yeah.
can't work a job. So,
Yeah.
like, with the money we do get, we definitely do gotta. It's like a learning experience. You gotta learn early how to stack or really spend on what you really need instead of like the stuff you want.
Needs over wants, man.
You can still get the stuff you want, but it just gotta be like you gotta know when to get it almost.
Man,
um, yeah. The time management part too, definitely. That's like another learning experience. Especially coming to school, coming to college, coming from high school.
how would you say like you feel like your time management has been like changed from high school, from being a high school athlete to being a college athlete on his way to becoming a pro athlete? How do you feel like your time management has been more consumed? And what I mean consumed, like athletics, social life, and academics.
I would say it got better. I'm working on it day by day. Coming in, it was different because in high school it was like you got work. Okay, you go to school every single day,
Right.
7 8 hours. It's not like that. You got class. It's just classes. You might not have class every day. Some days you might not have class. And college is, I'm not gonna say it's optional, but it's not optional. I mean, you gotta do the work you want to pass.
Right.
But you in college, if you don't want to go to class, you don't gotta go to class. You want to do the work, you don't gotta do the work. Like, it's really up to you.
So more
And
free will.
It's way more free will, and you got to know how to handle the free will because some don't. Some might see free will as like they can just do whatever. Excuse me, and you can do whatever, but you got to know at the end of the day if you got business to take care of. I had to learn that like take care of business first,
Right.
and then you can do whatever you want to do. With your time.
I want to ask a couple more questions. You can ask me a couple. With the personal finance and like saving money, what do you think is some ways Miami could add money to their athletes' pocket, but not by making it seem like we're just getting a large check of money and not doing anything for it. Like, what do you feel is some ways athletes can get money in their pockets without having to work a job?
I would say if that athlete is performing on the field and he's doing everything coaches ask him to do and he's taking care of business.
Right.
The game has changed a lot. So, you got some people that's in college that's maybe families back home might not got it or might be struggling or, like the little money that person is getting in school, they might be dependent on him with the little bit of money he get. So, like, I think a way Miami could get more money in athletes' pockets is definitely probably just maybe raise funds, or maybe we could try to get like sponsors, or
Better budgeting.
yeah, maybe yeah, just get our name out there more.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying. Definitely a key takeaway that I took from what you've said and what we've experienced as athletes and stuff like that is that when we get money for like certain things, we have to use it wisely. And when we mean by use it wisely, we just can't go out and go spend it on some designer brand or just go out just spending money. We have to like actually like budget our money with our meals, our bills too. Especially since we're becoming older, we gotta start paying bills. Like that's definitely a thing. But what's it called? Any questions for me?
Um, I ain't know, but I'm gonna come back to you though. But let's get to this other. Let's get to my personal interests. Or what was it? No, it wasn't called personal interest. It was what?
Self-interest.
Self-interest.
Yeah.
One of my self-interests are student athlete, and it's a lot that go like around that. So, you know, a lot of people come to school for sports, and maybe they don't put as much effort into academics as they would into sports. And I get it, because some people maybe think that sports is the only way and school is not a way. But being a student athlete, you always got to understand it's academics first, sports
Definitely.
later. Because without academics, you can't even play sports. And I take pride in that because, like, I'm not the biggest person on school and academics. I've really never been, not gonna lie. But I know it's something that I gotta do, to do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And being a student athlete overall is cool anyway, because it shows a lot of responsibility, shows a lot of accountability. Being able to juggle sports and classes and homework, practice. Some days you might got night class right after practice. You might have a class before practice. You might have a AM practice. And you might go to class in the morning before you gotta go to practice. Like, it was crazy.
I think about the student athlete as a very serious topic, like you say. It's a lot. Like, what's it called? The mental side. It's just a lot that can be affected. Like, I see a good example is you. I see you every day on some stuff. We do work. We just compete as student athletes, but we're more than just a student athlete at the end of the day. And like how you said, talk about academics. One day we're not going to be a student athlete. One day we're not going to be an athlete. We will be a retired athlete, a retired player, a retired student athlete. So you preaching about the academics that's something I highly believe in, because life after football, when that day comes, that's the day that we don't want to come, but when that day comes, that we will be prepared for it. So, but
You gotta say something interesting.
you did. As a student, when you mean talk about as a student athlete, what do you feel is like something like that you've had to sacrifice as being a student athlete?
A lot. You gotta sacrifice a lot.
Right.
Especially being in school, you sacrifice missing holidays, birthdays.
Right.
You sacrifice being away from family, even back at home. Back at home is way more temptations, typically, probably, than it is in college. It depends. And where I come from and where I'm at now, it is. So even being back at home, trying to be a student athlete in high school with all the distractions and all your homies and the girls and just your hometown, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can go all night about this topic.
I mean, but for you to be a student athlete and where you want to become, sacrifices will have to be made.
Definitely.
Changes will have
My
to be
birthday
made.
just passed. I was in college for I was here for my birthday. I didn't do that. I was at practice on my birthday.
We celebrated though.
Yeah.
Celebrated. But
Last year, the team was at a bowl game for Christmas. Like they didn't even get it Christmas.
so,
You sacrifice a lot.
especially with the family too. Like I know like
Family,
you're big on your family.
Definitely
Me too.
family.
So being away from family definitely takes a part. But knowing that I'm doing this for my family
Definitely.
is a bigger part than what it is. But I definitely feel like this what we've talked about is like is good. Like I look like this podcast. Loki, we should come up with a podcast in the future on some Gillian Wallow type
Yeah,
shit.
we're gonna.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
Mr. Banks can put us on to some low key.
I appreciate you, Mr. Banks.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Banks. We appreciate you for this opportunity. Have a great day. 1.